the Steelers offense, where you go through a 6-game sample size and you only have 7 offensive points, I should say, to show for that. Terry checking in again saying, how do we help fourth quarter KP8, Kenny Pickett, to show up in the first quarter? I think this is a great question. For me, it would be, don't be afraid to run the hurry up a bit. That's what I've seen. We talk about it all the time too, like establishing the play action. Like one of the things that, okay, you self-scout, but then you look at what other teams are doing in the league too. I can show you the statistics and show, okay, how's Trevor Lawrence had success this year? He loves his tight end, Evan Ingram. The Steelers at the tight end position have depth there. I'd like to see them target their tight ends more often. I think the Steelers passing game is going to get more right, though, with Deontay Johnson back on the field, pairing with George Pickens. I think that combination is just going to get better and better and better in the coming weeks. But yeah, I mean, I would take some of the tape of, okay, what worked in the fourth quarter with Kenny Pickett? And can we implement that earlier on in the game so you can play with a lead versus either playing a tight game or having to overcome a deficit? But what do you think about this, Ike?
Hurry up offense. I come out with the hurry up offense just to give Kenny in a rhythm ASAP. Because if you look at it, every time they go in hurry up mode, it's like Kenny gets in a rhythm.
He's locked in.
Yeah, and that's usually in the fourth quarter. So for me, off the rip, I'm starting off with the hurry up offense. Hey, Najee in the backfield. I'm under center. Bam, hurry up offense. Let's keep it down to 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s. So if I'm the OC, if I was the OC, I would definitely start off the game with the hurry up offense just to give KP in rhythm.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind the time of possession, and that's not to say abandon the run. I think you could play with some tempo, Ike, and not necessarily have to snap it. Oh, okay, let's sprint up to the line of scrimmage and snap it within 10 or 15 seconds. But you can run tempo, and especially keeping players on the field. If there are matchups that you like and you prevent the defense from being able to substitute as well, then maybe you make the defense burn a timeout. Like we saw that come into effect. We talked about this with the Rams game, where when the Rams didn't have any timeouts, they didn't have any challenges left. The management of the clock, and you put your opponent in a bad position because the Rams couldn't challenge the spot of the ball. In that Kenny Pickett sneak last week was outside of 2 minutes. So like that's what that can do, to where if a defense is reeling, hey, we got to do something to get the package or the personnel in there to be able to stop an opposing offense that's just going to continue to move the ball when you play with tempo. Being aware of time of possession, though, is also important, Ike.
Yeah, so what I mean by hurry up offense, getting to the line and letting Kenny digest what's going on the defensive side. You ain't got to snap the ball fast. So what I mean is not getting the play in late, not rushing Kenny, having 10 seconds, and Kenny wants to audible a call, but he can't. I'm talking about getting the play in ASAP, letting the line get their fronts called, run a motion or two, let Kenny see if it's in man or zone, and okay, now I'm ready to play football. Keep the same guys on the field if you want to. So when I mean by hurry up, I mean by hurry up by having enough time on the clock so Kenny can see what the heck is going on and him getting in his rhythm mentally. So, okay, now the game has slowed down to me. This is what they're doing in this personnel. This is what who's Jacksonville bringing in this personnel. Okay, how can I counter this? So when I mean by hurry up offense, I'm not talking nothing like a college offense, how the Colorado Buffaloes, how they get in and get out ASAP.
North Carolina is the same way, Ike.
North Carolina, how they get in and get out ASAP. I'm talking about a hurry up offense that is, we ain't going nowhere. We get into the line of scrimmage, hold the personnel, hold the substitutions, let Kenny Pickett see what the hell going on, run a quick motion across or run a short motion, regardless whether it's in man or zone. All right, I got 10 seconds, 5, digest the information, boom, I know I'm going. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about a hurry up offense from an NFL standpoint.
Ike, from a defensive perspective, when that type of style of offense has been run against you as a player, you just like, I know that so-and-so can't guard the opposing offensive skill position player. What does that do to you as a defensive player?
You got to talk across the field. So when you're not in a hurry up, when we huddling up, we get to talk. I get to communicate with my defensive guys in the huddle. Hey, bro, anticipate this, and this on this down and distance with their personnel coming in and out. When the line ain't huddling, you got to communicate all the way across the field. You got to communicate. The linebackers got to communicate with the safeties. The safeties got to communicate with the corners. Then the linebackers got to communicate with the front. So everything, and it might just be that one person that didn't get that message. So when you hurry it up like that, and I ain't talking about a college hurry up. When you hurry up the offense like that, you have a chance of messing up the communication on the defensive side, and that's all you need for one person to not be on page on defense, especially in that secondary. So that's the advantage I think it is for the offense. It messes up the communication because we're not able to huddle and anticipate and talk about what's going on. We got to talk from the west side of America all the way to the east side of America at a distance with 70-something thousand people talking and cheering in the stands.